Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see about theories of disaster management. There are 5 theories of disaster management. We are going to see the first theory, sustainable development theory. These are the content that we are going to see under the sustainable development theory. Introduction. Disasters pose significant threats to human well-being, infrastructure and ecosystem, often existing vulnerability and inequalities. In response to these challenges, the integration of sustainable development principles into disaster management has gained traction. Sustainable development focuses on meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. The meaning of disaster management. Disaster management means organization, planning and application of measures of preparing for, responding to and recovering from disaster. Disaster management involves the pillars of emergency management, planning and preparation, mitigation, response and recovery. Understanding sustainable development. Sustainable development as defined by the Brundtland Commission refers to meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. It encompasses environmental, social and economic dimensions, emphasizing the interdependence of these factors. The linkage between sustainable development and disaster. Resilience building. Sustainable development emphasizes building resilience at individual, community and institutional levels. This resilience enhances the capacity to withstand and recover from disaster, reducing vulnerable and mitigating impacts. And the second one, risk reduction. Integrating sustainable development principles into disaster risk reduction efforts focuses on addressing underlying drivers of risk such as poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. This approach aims to create more resilient and sustainable communities. The third one, adaptive governance. Sustainable development theory promotes adaptive governance structures that facilitate effective disaster responses and recovery. This involves fostering participatory decision-making process, promoting transparency and enhancing accountability. Next we see about 3 principles of sustainable development in disaster management. Prevention and preparedness. First one, prevention and preparedness. Sustainable development emphasizes proactive measures to prevent disaster and minimize their impacts. This includes investment in risk assessment, early warning systems and infrastructure development designed to withstand hazards. And the second one, equity and social justice. Central to sustainable development is the principle of equity, ensuring that vulnerable populations are not disproportionately affected by disaster. This involves addressing underlying social and economic inequalities through inclusive policies and intervention. And the third one, environmental sustainability. Disaster management strategies informed by sustainable development principles prioritize environmental conservation and restoration. This includes measures to protect ecosystem, promote sustainable land use practices and reduce carbon emission to mitigate climate change related risk. And the fourth one, partnership and collaboration. Sustainable development theory emphasizes the importance of partnership and collaboration among various stakeholders, including governments, civil society organizations, academic and private sector. These partnerships facilitate the exchange of knowledge, resources and expertise to enhance disaster preparedness and response effect. Next we are going to see about challenges and critics. First one, implementation gap. Despite growing recognition of the importance of sustainable development in disaster management, there remains a gap between theory and practice. Challenges such as limited resources, institutional inertia, and competing practices hinder effective implementation. And second one, complexity and uncertainty. The interdisciplinary nature of sustainable development and the inherent complexity and uncertainty of disaster risk prevent challenges for policymaking and practitioners. Balancing competing priorities and navigating trades-off requires innovative approaches and adapt management strategies. The third one, power dynamic and marginalization. Power dynamic within and among communities can influence access to resources and decision-making process potentially, marginalizing certain growth. Addressing power imbalances and promote inclusive governance structure is essential for ensuring equitable disaster management outcomes. And next we are going to see about what are the case studies and best practices under sustainable development theory. First one, community-based disaster risk reduction. Initiatives that empowers local communities to identify and address their unique vulnerabilities and capacities have shown promising results. By leveraging local knowledge and resources, these approaches enhance resilience and foster sustainable development. And second one, ecosystem-based adaptation. Incorporating ecosystem-based approaches into disaster risk reduction strategies can yield multiple benefits, including biodiversity conservation, climate change mitigation, and enhanced resilience. At the last conclusion, the integration of sustainable development principle into disaster management is essential for building resilience and sustainable communities in the face of growing environmental and societal challenges. By emphasizing prevention, equity, environmental sustainable development theory provides a comprehensive frame of vulnerability inherent in disaster management. These are the references that undercomes in sustainable development theory. Thank you.